Pyramid Times. We have with us wonderful guest Shravan Mahesh. He's an author of 3 books: Victim to Victor, Meditation Facilitation Mastery, Engineering Transformation Mastery. And he is also a founder of MD Swame Vaham Consulting Private Limited and ETM Automation Private Limited. One is into the healing alternative modalities and all. The other is into the artificial intelligence. So with this, I welcome Shravan Mahesh to Pyramid Times. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me today. And thank you, Pyramid Times, for giving me this opportunity.
And today, our topic is to be inner child work. So, sir has done a lot of regression sessions, inner child work with a lot of clients across the globe. And we'll be hearing from him what exactly inner child work is and how his journey landed to where currently he is. So, Shravan, what made you to choose this spiritual path? What was the journey about?
Okay, so spirituality was very long time back. In 2004, there was one meditation center in my hometown. It is Guntakal, Andhra Pradesh. There I got introduced into spirituality. And it was very interesting at the time, like, we used to do a lot of experiments, read lot many books. And it was a very interesting journey. And, and then the pyramid society and the kind of people, the kind of energy, it was a very interesting journey altogether. That's how I ventured into spirituality. And but it was all fun for a while, all the spirituality, the spiritual associations, but the real learning did not happen. Now, the real learning always comes from inside. Right? Like 3 years back, there were some situations in my family and also in my business, which had led me like, lot of questions. It has created a lot of questions on my core being, like, who am I? Why should I live this life? All these questions. So that's where I started to really get deeper into it. And then, it was almost 2 years. It was all this thinking, many times I used to feel like I need to kill myself. These kinds of thoughts. By that time, I have been successful in every aspect of my life. Like I think it was until 30, I had. By that time, I have 2 companies, and I have been financially successful. I had earned a lot of money, and also social recognition, and even philanthropy. I used to do a lot of donations, and especially I'm a trustee in Pune Pyramid Prachar Foundation, and I have been on the outer world, whatever people think they have to achieve, these are the goals they have, these are the dreams they have, vacations every time, going to foreign countries, all these things. I had kind of everything, but at the age of 30, suddenly things turned upside down, and I got a lot of questioning from inside. That's where I became a real truth seeker. I just went into a lot of inner research. I just closed all my external doors, and I tried to think, and even went into depression because of not finding answers. And that's how while struggling to come out of this depression, I ventured upon this inner child healing modality. And thanks to Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, this was the first time I opened up. I could clearly find out the true reasons for my depression and for my confusion in life. Until then, there was a lot of knowledge, wisdom on spirituality. I read thousands of books, but still all these things was not able to help me unless until I could really connect to my inner child and start to feel it.
So what exactly is inner child therapy?
Okay, so we actually have an inner child within us. Basically, this inner child is nothing but our own part of the self. We have multiple selves within us, which is one self. We can call it as inner child. And this inner child is a consciousness, which is a group of all the memories what we had as a child. Like let's say from 0 or even before birth, from the moment of conception, like the 9 months we spend in the mother's womb, and from then on, at every stage until the age of 21, there are a lot of experiences which we undergo. There is a lot of confusion which we have, and this shapes most of our perspective towards life. And most of the beliefs are created during this time, and most of the times this is what guides us in our life. And basically, this inner child is something is like, it can be simply thought of like, let's say we are addicted to some kind of oral addictions, let's say smoking or drinking or some kind of oral addictions, but it's mostly coming from the hunger of the inner child. The hunger of the inner child is looking for love. It was not getting nurtured, and it was not getting uh, good and love from its parents, and that created this addiction. And then as an adult, how much ever we try to fulfill this inner child through external mediums, let's say by through addictions or through partying or whatever, or through success. Even success is a kind of addiction, which I realized at a later point of life, like, that the race which we are doing is mostly like, all the wounds, like, there were some deep wounds within us in the childhood, and we are trying to heal the wounds. We are trying to fulfill the wounds by putting up something from outside. And what I realized is, how much ever we try to work upon it, how much ever we try to do something in the external world, in the outer world, inner child is never going to be happy. It's never going to be contented. The real thing is, we need to go back into our own self, and then we need to talk to our own self as a 5-year-old or as a 2-year-old, and then try to understand the perspectives there, and then heal that 2-year-old self or heal that 5-year-old self wherever the wounds are created. Otherwise, these wounds are never going to be healed. It's going to be a vicious cycle, and whatever we do from outside, it is like falling into an empty pit, like vacuum. And always there was a vacuum inside. How much ever I get, I'm not satisfied, because the vacuum is not going to get fulfilled.
So why do these wounds get created? Is it because of environment, or what exactly causes this inner child? Lack failure, lacunae.
Yeah. Basically, the wounds are created because of the not getting enough love and support. Like, basically, there are some needs. Like every child, when it comes to this world, it has some needs. It needs security. It needs safety. It needs love. It needs nurturance. A human child cannot live on itself independently from day one. There is a lot of dependencies, and most of the times these dependencies create some kind of wound. Let's say if I am not getting enough love, there is a wound for me. And in my life, like especially when my younger brother was born, it created a kind of detachment, abandonment. I felt a little bit abandoned from my own parents when my younger brother was born, because all the attention was going to him, and they were ignoring me. So that ignorance is a wound for me. And then later point of time, any kind of physical abuse or emotional abuse, when parents scold us, because we trust parents a lot. And when parents scold us, or when teachers scold us, there is a kind of fear which is getting created within us, and this creates certain kind of wound within us. So basically, in my school days, I was bullied a lot, and this bullying had created a lot of issues inside me. Like, I have the fear of judgment. I try to not be very social or outspoken. I became very like introvert. I cannot speak a lot. I cannot show my true self, because I'm always afraid when I show my true self, people will judge me and tease me. Because of this bullying created a wound in my inner child, and this wound is creating issues at this part of my life. Now I'm 33. At this point of life, I am afraid to getting into an intimate relationship, because there is this fear of judgment. What if the same pattern repeats? What if the person who is coming into my life is is none other than the bully who used to bully me in my childhood. These kind of thoughts I used to have.
So what happens if we undergo a inner child therapy? What are the changes you have seen with your clients?
Yeah, with my clients, basically, they happen to experience love for the first time. So basically, it's inner child therapy is mostly like reparenting our own self. There is a lot of expectation from our parents, and most of the times we blame them a lot for not giving us right nurturance or right love. There is a lot of blame parents undergo, and most of the times they cannot fulfill whatever we demand them. And this is how there will be a vacuum, there will be a void as we grow older, because we are not getting fulfilled emotionally, we are not getting the recognition, we are not getting the appreciation from the parents. I used to blame all these things, and especially with my client also, most of the problems are similar. And when they try to reparent their own inner child, when they try to understand what the inner child wants and then try to fulfill its needs and try to reparent it, they can feel that lessening of burden. There is that lightness getting created in the heart. Their hearts get healed, and then they are most of the clients, they when they get separated from their husbands or wives, there is a lot of trauma there. And then after doing inner child work, they really could take responsibility of themselves and see that the relationship which got destroyed is also, it's mostly because of due to their inner child issues. And mostly all the tantrums or all the emotional outbursts we make are all mostly coming from inner child issues. And even what I have seen is people who do crimes, very big crimes like terrorism or psychopaths, or all these kind of crimes are also resulting from inner child wounds. The root cause is there is some wound within the person, and that's how that wound is getting manifested. There is a lot of anger. Like for a child, there is a lot of anger towards the society, and that anger is coming out as crimes. And once they heal that anger, when they try to solve that anger, they even don't feel to go and abuse others. But they don't feel to when they see their vulnerable side of themselves, they don't want to hurt others, hurt other children, or hurt other everyone are children inside, so hurt others especially. And that's how the changes had happened. And they have a lot of, after inner child work, they get a lot of enthusiasm towards life. There is, okay, now I can live my life. Earlier there was a lot of hopelessness, and before inner child work and after inner child work, there is that curiosity, that liveliness. They become children again. They are curious towards life again. They can start fresh.
That's wonderfully said about the love towards themselves and love towards the others, and how they can live life fearlessly and with so much of aliveness. So will this also improve their finances or health related aspects as well?
Yes, mostly most of the financial issues. I will tell a case study. So there used to be one entrepreneur. He earns very much. He reaches to the top and suddenly falls down. And every time he gets into that race, he achieves it, and then again suddenly he loses all the money and falls down. And if we did the inner child work with him, and when we could see his child, like he was very poor. He was very poor financially, having this lack, scarcity consciousness, and always used to feel like when he's walking towards a very rich, walking on the road, and when he sees a very rich family or rich bangla, he always feel that jealousy, or that I don't have this. There is a lack consciousness. There's a scarcity consciousness. Due to that, he could run and he could win that, but still that lack consciousness and that scarcity consciousness is still existing in his inner child. And once we could work out on that part and we could heal that part, it's a kind of misunderstanding what that child made. and then whatever it had got, it was not able to see. It was only seeing what it did not get. And this lack of understanding, this lack of perspective towards abundance had created these financial issues in his life. And once we could solve it, he was very happier, and he could first understand that, his own subconscious is making these decisions, because his own subconscious is thinking he has some lack inside, and that is what is manifesting in his life as losing all the money, and again getting into the same zone where he was as a child. So once we could solve this, his financial he could literally have the financial freedom. But most of the times, even how much money we have, also we will not have financial freedom. There is always an insecurity. This all insecurity is coming from this inner child. And once we could solve this insecurity, we will again get into the abundance mode, and we will attract more finances into our lives.
Yes. And how about the health aspects, physical health conditions?
Yeah, and there is a saying, like, most of the issues are psychosomatic, all the health issues. Even when I was also undergoing depression, I could attract lot many diseases. Earlier, I was very strong, but once my mind became weaker, I was getting a lot of diseases, and most of the issues are generating in our own mind. Because, like, let's say if I am not happy, I attract certain kinds of diseases. If I am jealous, or if I'm storing a lot of anger, like I have a lot of anger issues. I cannot express my anger, and I try to suppress it, and then I try to, and it had created a lot of digestive issues, acidity issues, and these sleeplessness. I had fought a lot with insomnia. These kind of things happen. Like almost for 3 years, I think every day I need to have a sleeping tablet, and even though I have a sleeping tablet, I cannot sleep. So again, midnight I will take another sleeping tablet. That's how the cycle went on. But once I could work on my own inner child, then I could solve this sleeping issue, because everything is mental, everything is psychological. It's inside us. It's all like, we are not able to understand some of the aspects in our childhood. Like for some children, they lose their parents, and for some children they undergo sexual abuse, and for some children they have trust issues because they were not getting enough nurturance, and some people were emotionally abused. They again turn out to be autism. They suffer from autism and all such kind of things at the later point of life. So most of the health issues are coming from inner child. That's what my perspective is. And once we could solve the inner child, once we could heal the inner child problems, I think most of the health issues will go away.
That's so nice. And you have written Victim to Victor book. What made you to write this book, and what is the success story behind it?
Okay. So Victim to Victor book, this is a very interesting journey for me. And I usually, like, other books are mostly I written with my left brain, where, I had a lot of knowledge about it. I have read many books about it. So that's how I written the other books. But Victim to Victor is coming from my own life, my own journey. How always in my life I felt like a victim, and then how I transformed from one stage to another stage. And as soon as I write, I was attracting very variety kind of experiences. It was a very interesting journey, and it takes a lot of time to share those stories, but the whole journey was very interesting, because it was like I'm trying to solve the puzzle of my life. It's a big puzzle for me, like, why I'm born in this life, why I'm born to my parents, why my parents are treating me this. All my success is because I was having some kind of hurt because of the scoldings which my father had on me. Like, he used to scold me a lot, he used to shame me a lot, he used to humiliate me a lot. And in order to fight that humiliation, I was running behind success. I was doing studying, after studying, I have done engineering. Immediately, I went to MBA. Again, I went to another MBA. I have worked in a corporate. I tried to chase behind this success. And again, starting a company, another company, and again, that social recognition, social media, advertising, every time being on the Facebook, all those things. But at some point of time, this all did not give me happiness. And then I try to look upon, like, what is this problem? Why I'm not being happy after having all this material success? And that's where I start to connect the dots, like, going backward and, what is happening? Why I'm getting into this cycle? How can I break this cycle? That's how this whole Victim to Victor has been born.
And what is the message of the book? And who are the target audience for this book?
Yeah, the target audience are people who wanted to work on themselves. The tagline is like, mastering the art of self-transformation. Like, people who wanted to change their fate, take their fate into their hands. And how exactly they can do that. This is the whole process. Especially it's a kind of change of how we look at ourselves. Like, initially when we start our life, we are always feeling victim, like a victim. We look ourselves as a victim. Okay, the life is doing injustice towards us. So people are doing injustice towards us. And this is the first stage where we look ourselves as a victim. And then in the second stage, we get into a blame game where, we blame our parents for giving us this kind of horrible life, or blame our teachers, or blame the society as a whole. This is the second stage, and most of the humanity is stuck in these first two stages. They consider themselves as victims, and secondly, they either get into a blame game, or they're always trying to blame others. And then in the third stage is called self-doubt stage. So once they could see themselves deeper, they see that all this is coming from their own self-doubt. They're not confident on themselves. And they recognize this. Like, I undergone, like, when initially I was a victim, and again, I tried to put a lot of blame on my parents. And then I could realize that, my own core beliefs are formed with self-doubt. And once I could pass through these stages, then I could find out the next key. The next key is acceptance. So then I tried to accept my parents as they are, accept my father as they are. So I accept the people in my life as they are. And that's how a little bit of burden got reduced in my heart. And then slowly forgiveness was born. And this is the stage of forgiveness. And most of the people try to do these affirmations, forgiveness affirmations. I tried this, but what my experience said is, it doesn't work, because deep inside there is a lot of anger, and we are trying to forgive from the surface. And there is always this inner conflict. And in my life, what happened is, like, when I tried to forgive people used to abuse me more. When like, let's say Gandhiji says, right, when someone beats on one cheek, you show other cheek. I tried to practice it every time I was getting beatings. So then it was a mystery for me, this forgiveness. Why everyone are in spirituality talking about forgiveness, but it was not working for me. Because then once I could work on this, like, once I could create the anger management, once I could release my anger, then I could really get into this forgiveness mode. And then the next stage is metamorphosis or transformation. This is where we try to change ourselves. We try to, it's like, that you know about perturbation, right? Perturbation is something where you put a lot of pressure on certain system and the system changes.
Right.
Like, that's how the petrol is born. All the fossil fuels are born because all the dead leaves, all the dead things get deeper into our earth core. There is a lot of pressure, and then the whole thing gets transformed, and because of the carbon atoms gets aligned, and even the diamonds are formed this way. In spirituality also, people always talk about, like, the coal turning into a diamond. And that phase happens in our life. There will be a certain time where, there will be a lot of pressure on us, and we transform internally to solve this problem. This is metamorphosis. This is what a butterfly also undergoes. Like from caterpillar to butterfly, it completely changes its complete physical body in order to transform into a butterfly. And this is a very difficult stage for many people to transform. And this stage covers a lot. And for me, I was stuck in this stage for a long time. And slowly I tried to work upon myself, and I could come out of this. And this is how the first 3 stages and of what you call victim mode, and second stages of this transformation mode happens. And then in the 6 stages are done. 7th stage. In the 7th stage, we enter into spirituality. There again, okay, we got transformed here, but how to sustain this transformation? How not to get into again the victim mode? So this is how meditation, this is where meditation comes. And this is where the connection with higher self comes. We realize who we truly are. And then next, responsibility comes. And then healing happens actually. When we are undergoing this, actually healing happens. All the wounds gets healed. And that's how we transform our inner being. We transform our own core identity. And yeah, we covered until higher self, and then next responsibility comes, where we take responsibility for our lives, and we try to take ownership, like whatever experiences I have happened in my life or my own creation. In my life, I try to look upon the soul contracts I made with my own father. Why did I choose him? I went into life between life states and try to look upon it. And then I chosen this life. I chosen him. There is the responsibility there. It's my own creation. And then in the 11th stage, we get into self-love mode, where after taking responsibility, we love ourselves, we increase our self-esteem, we increase our self-worth, and then finally we turn into a victor. Victor is nothing but who has become successful, who has won the battle. Yeah, the inner Kurukshetra. He had won that inner Kurukshetra and came out as a victor. And this is the whole story of this book, these 12 stages. It's a lot about my experiences and also different processes which we can use in order to go from one stage to another stage.
Right. So correct. It reminds me of one statement saying that someone I loved gave me a full box of darkness, but it took me years to understand that this too is a gift. Basically, the other side is just right there. The light is right there, but we tend to focus only on the darkness most of the time. It may be of the ignorance or the conditioning that we have been. But definitely, when people like therapists, like healers like you are available, people will be able to open up to the other possibilities available on the other side. And change can be in a second. It can be it takes few days or few seconds or few minutes time. But we spend a lot of time just wasting, not knowing all these beautiful modalities that we offer to the people.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's so very great. The service you are doing, it's very, very great. So all the information related to Shravan Maheshwari is available on www.shravanmahesh.com, and you can as well access his other websites as well.
Thank you very much. Actually, it's whatever I'm doing, it's coming from inside, because I tried to work upon myself, and it was not an easy path for me. It was always, there were a lot of hurdles, and that's why I tried to create this as a platform where I can assist people who are undergoing similar challenges in their life. I want to be that guide because I have worked upon myself, and I also look for gurus during this time, and some gurus helped me, some gurus did not help me. This journey was little trickier. It was not so on the bed of roses or the path of roses. So the spiritual path or the self-transformation path. And that's how I try to create different modalities, and I try to offer all these things. And I hope, whoever are watching this video, can make the best use of it and try to lead a happier life and healthier life with all love, peace, and joy. We are all born of this love, peace, joy, abundance. That's our core nature. So we can again reinvent ourselves or refine ourselves, and we can again live the life fully.
So very truly emphasized on the topics of self-love and self-responsibility. Those are very much required. Maybe because of the lacunae we have, we don't see the full picture of the life or magnanimity of life. But when we know our own selves, there is nothing stopping for us. We can just go and everything will be flown to you. And I also recollect one more example while you were sharing the finances part. Most of the time we think, okay, we should expect from people for money to flow into our lives and all. But when we start giving, it could be not even money, it could be ideas or the comfort, just a single smile if we share with others, and Lord will be given through us basically. We are that channel, we become the channel for the abundance to flow into our own life, and through us it can flow into many others' life. That's very beautiful example and case study you have shared with us. Definitely, we are looking forward for more interviews with you on different topics. Maybe we can do book interviews also on your recent work.
Thank you, Veena, and thank you, Pyramid Times, for giving me this opportunity. And I wish all the success for Pyramid Times and all the best.
Okay.
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much.